Today we're going to talk about gold, silver, but especially about the mining stocks. They have been going off. And it's time to take some profits. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's what the markets are telling us. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. So before I even start this video, I can already tell you this is probably not going to be one of the most popular videos. Why? Because all people want to have on YouTube is, what do I need to buy? Well, if you are a legit, serious financial channel that talks about the markets, I think you not only need to say when to buy, you also need when to sell. So that's what we're going to do in this video. But housekeeping first, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because these type of information, like I'm going to give you today, 4 stocks, gold and silver miners, that I would look at and say, time to take some profits. You usually don't hear that anywhere else. So takes you 1 second, hit the subscribe button, and here we go. Now, you see, we are here, silver, after basically 6 up days in a row, we get the first red candle. But as I told you before, that is not the deciding factor, right? Everybody's telling you gold, silver, going to the moon, silver 100, silver 200. 200, what are we talking about? Maybe we'll get there, but how about we get to 50 first, okay? Gold is going to 10,000. Yeah, I believe gold is going to 10,000 in this cycle, but not within the next year, okay? We are basically in hockey terms, at the end of the first period, beginning of the second period. And the majority of the crazy gains gonna happen in the third period, okay? So let's not forget what we're talking about here. We're playing a long game, okay? Don't fall for the clickbait on YouTube or in the media. If you hear anything like this, you should cut that channel right away, to be honest. That's what I do. I'm not even listening to these people. So here's what I see, and I told you this before, but I have to say it again because we got new people finding this channel all the time. We are growing, and hopefully with your subscription, you're kind enough to give it to us. You will be part of it. Everybody says we're going to go straight to 50, and I say I don't think so. Why? Because last time we broke critical resistance, which was 35.50, we went sideways for 5 weeks. Then we broke 37.50, another critical resistance. We went sideways for 6 weeks. Okay, now we broke 40, and everybody's like, this is the resistance, we are going to 50 now, new all-time highs to the moon. I don't think we're going to consolidate for 5 or 6 weeks, not even close, but I do think we're going to have a consolidation, and today might be the first day, and gold is very much the same thing. Okay, now if gold and silver are correcting, we definitely need to take a look at the miners. You know I love the miners, right? But I am a realist in the market, a positive realist. Look at the mining stocks. This is the GDX, this is for the senior producers, this is for the biggest of the biggest gold companies. We basically doubled this year. That is very, very high. Look at what has happened since we broke out of this wedge formation. Here's the wedge formation. Right, we broke out, went parabolic. This is not a big move compared to some of the miners, but again, this is an ETF for the senior miners. This is a big one. Now, it's too much too fast. Look at the RSI here, massively overbought. And even more important, what nobody's talking about, what we are only talking, this is the type of information you get on this channel. I don't see it anywhere else. That's why you should subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for a second. All right, here we go, back to the show. Look where the RSI is here. Now, let me go back in time for you. This is on the daily. And find the last time, I'm still going, we're at 2022 now, still going, because as you can see here, I'm sorry, this is super annoying with TradingView. Here we go, we're 2022. As you can see, when you look at the right side, right here, we are higher right now than we were in 2022 and 2023 and 2024 and 2025. So we're still going, we're still going. Oh, here we go. The RSI is at a highest level since 2019, all right? Since June 2019. So this is 6 years ago. Anytime you have something historic like this, 6-year high, 5-year high, 10-year high, that's where you should get very greedy or very cautious. In this case, very cautious. I think we're gonna get a correction in the minus. I've told you this in the past videos as well. I told you, hey, let's take some profits. And I gave you some examples, and we hit big on one of the most popular gold mining stocks right now. We'll talk about it in a second. But where do we go with the GDX? First target for the correction would be this zone right here, the upper end of the wedge. Also, we have this now horizontal support zone. That's why it says 1 right here. Look at me, numbers guy. Number 2 would be the lower end of this uptrend, which we have tested regularly. Last time at the end of July. And that would coincide well with this horizontal support zone. We got 2 factors. So this is, I think, where we would go with the GDX, and GDXJ looks pretty similar, right? We have an uptrend channel in the GDXJ. We broke out of it. We're overheated. It's very much the same thing. Look at the RSI here. We're close to 79. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back. You kind of can guess where this is going. That's right. Highest level since 2019. Now we still have some air to hit that 2019 level, no doubt, but this basically tells us we are at the end of this crazy run that has happened since April, but basically mostly since August. So would I sell my position in GDXJ now? Or would I go short? Absolutely not. But I would take some profits. Or if you want a more professional approach, you keep your GDX or GDXJ investments, but you also start buying some puts. So if we go down, you make some money on the puts, you can sell that and then scoop up more GDX or GDXJ on the cheap. That's what the professionals do on Wall Street. So where do we go with the GDXJ? If you want to look at this, we got this uptrend. That'll be the first zone, right? The upper end of the uptrend channel and the short-term uptrend. We break this. I think where we would go is really this area, especially if you have a correction in the market plus a correction in gold and silver, right? We have this horizontal support zone right here, and we have the middle of the uptrend channel. If we look at the way the GDXJ ETF is flowing in this uptrend channel, you see we always hit that midpoint continuously, right? We go up to the end, midpoint, overshoot, undershoot, but we're always getting back to the midpoint. Here, went to the upper end, didn't even get back all the way down. No, we hovered around the midpoint, right? Correction, got back up, hovered around the midpoint, now we broke out. What do you think is going to be the most likely scenario? That's right, I agree. We get back at least to the middle point, the midpoint of this uptrend channel, which is around 75-ish, 74, 75, depending when we get there. So this is the situation that nobody's talking about because everybody is just blind for profits. And that is when you lose money. Okay, now let's look at some charts. And we're going to start with one of the most popular mining stocks out there right now that I hit the sell recommendation perfectly. That's Banyan. Look at hockey stick. It looks like a meme coin from 2021. I recommended taking profits here. Depending when you saw this video, you sold somewhere here. You very likely didn't even sell at the top, but that's almost impossible when you have parabolic moves like this. What you want to do is you want to be in on the action. So that means if you sell within 10% of a parabolic high, that's pretty great. And that's kind of what we did. So Pretty proud on that one. Would I buy this right now? Absolutely not. It's still overbought. Yeah, we're coming down. About time, because we were heavily overbought in the RSI, right? But I wouldn't touch this yet. Another gold stock that doesn't look good at all, was a real winner. Nex Gold Mining. I actually like Nex Gold Mining. They had really good news. They had good exploration news, but even better, they got an important permit for their gold mine that they're building in Canada. So fundamentally, something big happened here that justifies that the stock is now today more expensive than it was, for example, in July in this area right here. But it's not 50-60% in this short a time more expensive. And look at this candle. This is a nasty candle. I mean, if we're talking scale 1 to 10, and 10 is the most extreme version of a good or a bad candle, this is a 9.5 of a bad candle. I mean, the only thing that's keeping it away from a perfect 10 is that we have a little wick up here and we didn't close on the low of the day, but that's it. Completely engulfing the previous candle, really bad. I would sell this one. I think we're going to go to $1 Canadian, that is, at least, maybe even close the second gap. But then, right, then Nex Gold Mining might be very interesting because the fundamental situation has improved. Now let's go to two big silver stocks that are really popular. Pan American Silver. Look at this. We perfectly hit the upper end of the uptrend channel. Right? We're in a slightly overbought territory, but not by much. But we have negative divergences galore. We were higher here, we're higher here in the RSI, but the price of the stock is higher here. Not a fan. Do I need to buy this here right now? Absolutely not. Would I take profits here? If it is a trade, it was a great trade, I would absolutely take profits. Would I short this stock? I wouldn't short anything personally in the mining sector in gold and silver because the power move is just so strong to the upside. But again, take some profits, right? It doesn't make sense to only have buy recommendations, buy, buy, buy. You also need to sell and take profits. Here's another one. This one I really like for profit taking. Coeur, one of the big blue chip stocks. Look at the run this thing had. I saw this is basically in 150%, more than that, 180% since April, since I think I saw him here in Switzerland at a conference. And man, it's fine, but they got a lot of problems. The management, not the greatest. Now, let me show you something that's going on. But we're going to start with a crazy overbought RSI at 83, as you can see here. And the reason for this is a short squeeze, right? There were a lot of people that were short Coeur because of the problems that the company has had in the past. And you see this in the stock price, right? I mean, this stock has absolutely skyrocketed. Good for whoever was long, right? But look at this. RSI, we are still higher. I'm at 2020 right now, okay? So we're still higher in the RSI. This is as far as the daily goes back, and we're at the highest level since 2017 already. Now let's get to the weekly real quick. So you see what I'm talking about. Look at this. We're hitting a massive resistance zone. This is a nice bottoming formation. We love this formation, right? We get it. We love it. Okay, we can buy it, but not at every price and not after this last run up, right? So I would take profits here if I had the stock, which I do not own. Not a big fan, but if I did, that's what I would do. I would take profits because that is part of being successful in the market. You need to know when to exit as well. That's it for today. Have a great day. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.